All rise. Veuillez vous lever. Please be seated. Veuillez vous asseoir.
Thank you very much.
We're in open session, Your Honor.
Thank you, court officer. Mr. Hooper, the question again, when should the Victims and Witnesses Unit line up the next witness?
Tomorrow morning is my estimate, yes.
All right, so they shouldn't bother doing it today.
No.
Witness, welcome back to the stand, and your cross-examination continues. We're in open session.
Okay.
Mr. Hooper, please try to switch off your microphone immediately upon completion of the question.
I certainly will. I'll try and... There we are. If I can see that red light at the top, it might help me. Thank you.
It would have been better if these microphones were protruding from your dais there, so you can switch it on and off, but apparently it's not. So we have to... Yes.
Good afternoon, Mr. Witness.
Good afternoon.
All right, so now you've moved your rally, as it were, from 64 to Huruma. That's right, isn't it? And I'm not going to ask you many questions about that, but you may remember saying yesterday and again today that you'd heard, or thought you'd heard, all the Pentagon members, other than Raila Odinga, speaking. For example, Najib Balala, you remember him speaking. Is that right?
Yes, I remember, I said Pentagon members.
And you heard them speaking at the rally when you were there?
Najib Balala.
The man from Coast. Man in the white Stetson hat. You remember him speaking?
Can't remember. Oh, I can't remember.
You can't remember, can you? You're going into your memory problems again now, I suggest. See, he wasn't there, was he?
I think he was there. I think he was there.
What about Charity Ngulu? The only woman on the platform there. Did you hear her? I think you said you heard her speaking. Is that right?
I don't know.
Didn't you say earlier that you had? Well, let me ask you about Joseph Nyaga, the man from Central. Nyaga. Did you hear him?
I didn't stay there long, but I can't remember.
Well, let me put it at its simplest. The rally you claim you were at, who did you hear speak other than Mr. Ruto?
I think they were... there were most of somebody who was welcoming them because they said, I remember they were late. This meeting was to start at 10 in the morning. But when I went there, it's when at least it was starting. And Nyaga, I don't remember very well.
No, I'm saying, so what time did you get there?
I said around 2 to 3.
So let me just ask again. Aside from Mr. Ruto, who do you now say you heard speak out of any of the Pentagon, including Charity Ngilu? Out of the 6,
Yes?
other than Ruto, out of the 6, 5 Pentagon members and Charity Ngilu, who did you hear speak other than Mr. Ruto?
I think Mudavadi spoke.
So I didn't catch that.
Mudavadi.
Had you ever heard him speak at a rally, Mudavadi?
I usually hear him on TV. I usually watch them on TV.
Have you ever been to a rally other than this one where he spoke?
Can't remember.
Counsel, pause.
Eh?
Witness, were you about to add something to your answer?
I say I can't remember. You see, it's long, and I didn't know. If I knew, I could have put this in memory. And I was not interested in politics. So
Oh,
I used to hear them in TV, maybe in the news, and it's not something that I was so much interested in.
all right, Counsel. The reason I called for the pause at the time was line 12. It's not what the witness said. He said, I think Mudavadi spoke. He did not say, I think no one spoke.
Thank you, Your Honour. I missed that. So if that can be, that's my recollection too. So that can be corrected. And I think I'm right in saying, leaving aside television, you've never been to a rally other than this one, you claim, where Mudavadi spoke. This was the only rally you've ever heard Mudavadi speak, that you've attended yourself. Is that correct?
You mean I have never been in another rally? Yes.
I've never been to another rally, you said, I think. Is that right?
That was your question, and that's why I said yes.
Right. So let me put the question again, so I'm not misunderstanding you or you me. Aside from this rally at Huruma Grounds in December 2007, have you ever been to any other rally where Mudavadi spoke?
In 2007.
In 2007.
Can't recall.
Well, when could it be? We've heard about Huruma Ground with Jonathan B. We've heard about this one. So when he's not going to speak at Jonathan
Jonathan B. Of course he was speaking, but I was not interested in what he was saying, and I told you I happened to be passing there, I think.
Yeah, indeed. But Mudavadi wasn't there, was he?
That is why I'm saying, I think he was there. I think he was there because
Well, I think we need to clarify where we're talking about.
Yes, we
now.
do.
Okay, yes.
I suspect, well, maybe I'm wrong, but I think you understand what we're talking about. Was Mudavadi at Jonathan B's rally?
At this rally, which was in Urma, or any other rally.
Yes, I think you understand where I'm coming from. My question, let's go back to my question.
Yes.
Other than the ODM rally in December at Huruma Grounds,
Yes.
you say you went to, and you think Mudavadi spoke, was there any other rally that you attended in 2007 where Mudavadi spoke?
It's a long time ago. I can't remember because I had been. There was other meetings, but those were not in 2007. I think the what do you call it? They were unity. They were, what do you call it? Unity meetings. They were calling people from all this side, they come together. They speak about peace after election, but it was after the clashes.
You see, at the Huruma Ground ODM meeting, the only... listen to the question, please. At the Huruma Ground ODM meeting, where you say you were present, where you think you heard other ODM members speak, the only people who were ODM Pentagon members who spoke or who were there on the 20th of December was Raila Odinga, who you say you didn't hear speak,
Yes.
and William Ruto. Nobody else. So,
I can agree with you because I can't recall. Maybe I can agree with you. Can't recall.
there we go. All right. Now, I'd just like you to look, please, at a newspaper article. Though you've agreed the date that I've put to you, that it was the 20th of December. That's right, isn't it? You accept that the 20th of December is the date of the Huruma ODM rally.
Yes.
All right, but nevertheless, I'm going to put in a newspaper here, which is 0023 0031. If we can have that up on the screen. Tab 18. While that's coming up to the screen as a public document, could I just ask you if you're willing to tell me, and you don't have to tell me, but only if you want to tell me, who did you vote for in the election on the 27th?
Witness, you don't have to tell him that, but it's up to you if you want to.
Don't want to say.
But you can remember, can you?
Whom I voted for.
Yes, don't tell me, but you can remember who you voted for.
I can remember whom I voted for, but the other people I cannot remember. Remember councillors and others.
All right. And have we got this on the screen? And can you see it in front of you, witness? It's taken from the Standard newspaper, a Kenyan newspaper. It's dated, as we can see at the top, December the 21st, 2007, Friday. And it has a headline, Raila now calls for three-piece voting. And I'm not going to trouble you with what that means. We've met it before. with another witness. And we can see a photograph there of Raila Odinga and of Mr. Ruto. And there's another photograph to the left of a crowd, and it says underneath, ODM supporters cheer speakers during a campaign rally in Eldoret yesterday. And looking at that photograph, and having had the benefit of seeing the video as well, can you confirm that that photograph is indeed of ODM supporters at a campaign rally in Eldoret on the 20th of December 2007? Can you confirm that for me, witness?
Yes, it's indicated here.
And would you accept that that's the case? Does it accord with your recollection? Now, where were you at Huruma Grounds in your mind's eye? Do you remember you told us about 64 Stadium and how you were here and how in relation to the shed? Where were you at Huruma?
I happened to report a place called Shauri, just upper side of Shauri ako. There is a mountain, that area, all that area is called Shauri. I happened to be at the other side of the road.
Did you happen just to be walking along the road to go there or not?
I went with a matatu, public transport.
Right, well, thank you very much. And I'm going to move now from that issue. And can we have, I think the last video was admitted before lunch. Can I ask for this newspaper to go in to the extent that John has already indicated is acceptable?
Prosecution.
I mean, there's some difficulty. I see the date on the newspaper article. If it's going in for the image on it, there's no way of telling that this particular image relates to the rally that took place the day before or any other rally. In fact, there's no way of telling that this particular image is captured in the video clip that was shown to the witness. So the utility of it, I beg, I don't see.
We do see hammers up in the air. Anyway, we can admit the document for the image. We will argue about the significance at the right time.
I'm grateful, Your Honor.
And I hope very shortly the prosecution will be in a position to have done those investigations that they should surely have done years ago through public documents such as newspapers, in order to get some idea of these dates. It's extraordinary that we're here today, 2 or 3 years into this investigation, and the prosecution are not in a position to even concede to the defence and to the trial chamber itself the certainty of certain dates relating to public rallies that they themselves have invoked as incriminating against the accused. I'm not here to make a speech, but it is extraordinary, and I am distressed that the prosecution appear to be taking a persistent attitude of needless obstruction in respect of events and facts which can be simply admitted. No good purpose can be served by this.
It's all about, we can move on.
Thank you. I'm... Oh, yes, thank you. Sorry, madam.
The document Ken D090023 0031, public, will bear a number EVD T D09 00080. It will be alternatively called as Ruto Defense Exhibit number 80.
Thank you, court officer.
Thank you. And thank you, witness, for answering my questions with the courtesy that you have. I'm going to move on to another subject, another area, the area that you called, name for us as Tumbo, which is, of course, concerns the Kalenjin tradition surrounding circumcision, and which I think you would recognise as a transition between boyhood and manhood, common among the Kalenjin. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
And not limited to the Kalenjin, the Kikuyu too have a transition ceremony associated with circumcision. Is that right?
It does not exist now.
It doesn't exist now.
Correct?
Very well. In any event, I'm not going to ask you any questions about it. That the simple situation was that the place of ceremony, which was near you, what went on there was kept secret, as you told us. Transcript 54, page 22. And no one knows what goes on apart from the Kalenjin, who keep this ceremony secret. And you said, I can't say what they were doing, and a lot of the events were at night and in darkness. And I think we can deal with it like this. You can't really help me or the court very much about those traditions. Would that be fair?
I didn't get your question.
My fault. It was a long question. Let me break it down, or put it simply. Given the general circumstances, would it be fair to say, sir, that you're certainly no expert on Kalenjin tradition?
I'm not an expert.
And indeed, there's not very much you can tell us about the circumcision ceremony.
Apart from what I saw, I cannot say more.
Let me leave the subject of Tumbo and turn to the events that you were concerned with. And let me start with the 27th of December. And I'm going to take this shortly because I'm very keen, as I'm sure you are, that we finish our questioning today. So, 27th, you go to vote. Don't tell us where. We're in public session still, right? You go and vote. And at that time, everything, as you put it, was cool and normal. Do you remember telling us that?
Correct?
And the 28th, when you went down to work, it was the same. The 29th. It comes to this. There were no problems that you saw, really, until the night of the 30th and the announcement of the elections.
I remember on Saturday, there was a very big demonstration in Eldoret town. It was on Saturday before the announcement.
But things didn't get difficult, if I can put it like that, until after those election results. Is that right?
That's right.
And you were watching the television. I'm not going to go into that in detail. But even you, from what you were watching, did you think, well, something strange is going on the television?
Strange like.
Well, you were watching it. Didn't you think what you were watching was strange and unusual?
Yes, I was watching.
You told us how... You remember how the television you were watching, Citizen was it, suddenly went blank at a crucial point. And it was after that, as you made your way I thought he said yes. Yes, sometimes you say yes, but it's not being picked up by the transcript. I can see you shake your head, and I hear yes, but it sometimes doesn't come on the transcript. In fact, we had an earlier yes that was missing. Has that come back? I'll come back to it, but there was an earlier answer where the yes was missed. Very well. So you go back to location 2. Do you have that piece of paper in front of you? Because we're in public session, so I'm not going to mention names, and if I do have to, I'll go into private session.
Yes.
And you go back to your location at 2, and subsequently, if I can deal with this quite quickly, you witness houses, or 2 houses, being set aside, set on fire. First of all, number 12's, and then number 11's. I've lost it. Just pausing there. I've had identified line 14, that's page 75, line 14, where there was a no, but it doesn't appear in the transcript. No, yes, no answer in the transcript. At this stage, I don't know whether I go back to it to ask the question. Can I just? We've got a blank on the transcript, sir, so I'm sorry to trouble you with it. I'm going to basically ask the question in a shortened form. Do you remember the newspaper, the last newspaper we showed you, of Hulama Grounds? Do you remember? I showed you a photo. I showed you a newspaper, and on the newspaper it had a picture of Raila, a picture of Mr. Ruto, and it had a picture of a crowd scene holding hammers.
Yes, it's
Remember that? And I asked you to confirm, and I'd like your answer again. Can you confirm that that is in fact a photograph of the ODM meeting at Hulama Grounds on the 20th of December 2007?
I confirmed it was indicated.
Yes, you
I
did
said
indeed.
yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Actually, what the witness said on that occasion was that is what the newspaper said.
And you confirmed it. Thank you very much. So back to these events on the 30th, and houses are burning. Can we just go into private session for a few seconds?
We will briefly go into private session now.